Ok, rồi chúng ta sẽ tiếp tục với hash table.
Where the hashes are. So like if we make another one here, we'll just call this 99, and we'll call this cat. And run this. See how it says 101, 199? Because it's doing it from a high to a low order. Now, you don't need to know any of that, and it may jump things around based on how it's hashing it internally. And unfortunately, each language like Java, .NET, etc., they do hash tables a slightly bit differently. But all you really need to know is you have a key and an object. So it does a very, very quick lookup. So what's the point of this key? I mean, what can you really do with it? Well, let's say you want to find item 101. You want to find Heather. How would you get that? Well, you could do like this. Let's just copy this. And we want to say values, and then we want to do, actually it's a string, so we need to change this around. We'll say name, and then print out the name here. And if it seems like it's going to be overly complex, it's because it is. And then you'd say if, and then we'd have our brackets, and then you get into this big
Right.
long thing where you're basically saying if name equals Heather, then console right line. You don't need any of this. That's my point. Just delete that. So if you just typed all that, I'm very sorry, but you don't need any of that. What you do is you'd say system console right line, and we're going to say mtable, and we want item, what was it, 101? So we're just going to simply say we want item with the key of 101.
Ok,
And sure enough, it prints out Heather with the key of 101.
rồi thấy rồi nè.
What was it, 101? Line, and we don't need any of this. That's my point. Console right line. You don't need
String name in my table value. Một table value. System console right line. Okay. đó tốt lên đó chết lên biết chưa có chưa có data master master thì phải ra không biết sao thì win được phép rồi win được phép một commit cho master và hoặc code root biết xài git trong như rồi được
Any of this. That's my point. But you don't need any of that. What you do is you'd say system console right line, and we're going to say mtable, and we want item, what was it, 101?
rồi
So we're just going to simply say we want item with the key of 101. And sure enough, it prints out Heather. So as you can see, you can do a very ra không ngồi ra đúng rồi quick lookup based on that key. Some practical uses would be like, let's say you have a database of employees and you want to grab it based on the employee ID. You can do that. You should also note that you should do a little bit of error checking here and say, you notice how there's contains key and contains value and contains. Use contains key to see if it has that actual key. So we're just going to turn this into an if-then statement. We're going to say if mtable contains key 101, then print out key, or sorry, print out the value of key 101. So we're saying, does it contain the key, yes or no? If it does, then do something. So there we go. And let's just give it an arbitrary key of like something like that, something we know doesn't exist. When we run this, sure enough, it does not print it out because it doesn't contain that key. So as you see, hash tables are very, very simple, very easy to work with. And almost every function with the hash table relates to the key. For example, let's say we want to remove something here. Let's say we want to remove Heather from the list. She's been bad. So we'll go mtable, remove, and notice it says object key. So it's asking for that key again. So you give it the key, and then run this. And notice how it's not printing out 101 anymore, and it's not printing out Heather. It's because we've removed her. So hash tables are very quick to look things up, very simple to work with, and almost everything works off this key. I'm not going to get too deep into this. I just want you to know what a hash table is and why you would use it. So that's all for this tutorial. I hope you found this educational and entertaining, and thank you for watching. Hey,
để cái khỏi chán thì chúng ta sẽ cứ học hết đi rồi làm ví dụ sau hết thì
hey everyone, this is Brian. Welcome to the 12th C# tutorial. Go ahead and create a console application. Alright, now so far if you've been following my tutorials, we've discussed, variables, the if statement, switch, do loop, for each, arrays, lists, and hash tables. We could go on and on with like stacks and queues and things of that nature, but I honestly believe that programming is easy. And in order to learn programming, you're going to learn by doing. So we're just going to jump right in with both feet. No nonsense, we're going to cover classes. So right click in your solution, go add and select class. And I believe you can also go project add class. And then just from the window that appears, select class. Notice how there's a bunch of stuff in here. Once we get going with these tutorials, you're going to know what each one of these items are. So here's a class. Now you notice how it created a new file, class1.cs. You can click this tab and there's program.cs. The .cs stands obviously for C#. And over here you see here's our class 1 and our program. Now program, this is what we're used to seeing. Namespace console application 1, class program, static void main. When you flip into class 1, you notice how there's no main function. See? Program, there's static void main. Class 1, no main. Why is that? Well, as I've said in previous tutorials, the static void main function, or just the main function, that's the starting point for every program. So you only need one of those because it's, well, only going to start in one place. So what is a class and why do you need it? If you know other languages, you're probably snickering going, come on, I know what a class is. But it's important to note that in .NET, everything is an object. So everything's a class because a class is a blueprint for an object. Let's just write that out, blueprint. So our class is a design of an object. It's not an actual object, it's just what's going to be in that object. So instead of class 1, let's call this person. Save it, and we can actually just rename this file if we want to. Don't have to, but you can. Now that we've got this person class, and notice how it's in the same namespace console application 1. Same namespace. Member.
biết là
A namespace is like an apartment. Because these are in the same apartment, they can chit-chat with each other. And no, chit-chat's not really a technical term, but you know.
But you know, I know. You know.
What I mean. Now we're just going to make a couple variables here, like, for example, string name. We'll say string.empty. You could have very well just said quote unquote, but just for the sake of argument, I'm going to do string.empty. Just to show you that the string class is actually a class. And then int age. So this is our blueprint, our class for an object. We have not created an object yet. So let's jump back into program.cs, and we want to actually work with this. So we're just going to say console.
So
Read. That way, we have our console window that stays open. Now, if you type in person, notice how IntelliSense automatically pops up and puts it in the correct upper or lowercase, however you have it spelled, because remember, case sensitive in C#. Go ahead and hit tab. There's person. So we've created a variable here, or I should say we've created a type. Now we're going to create a variable, cPerson, equal new person. Now we've actually created an object. Remember, the person is just a blueprint. Here's our variable. We're creating a new instance.
Ok, ta sẽ tắt lại lesson hết một class right 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 xíu là xử lý đây con sau rất là cấu trúc cái rồi class đây
No none with these tutorials from the window. So here's from the window that appears. Select class. Notice how there's a bunch of stuff in here. Once we get going with these tutorials, you're going to know what each one of these items are. So here's a class. Now you notice how it created a new file, class1.cs. Class1.cs space void and going, come on, I know what a class is. So our class, now that we've got this comment, I mean string, so the correct. And so this is our blue.
xin nên đây là sorry đúng rồi xin 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 video xong sẽ sai rồi Gọi là chung. Nếu được sao là suy xét là lỗi. Mỗi chương trình có một cái lỗi khác nhau. Ai biết thế nào. Sao? Linh thật. Không biết. Person. So, chắc là phải được bán lại. Ai rồi. Thật là ai rồi. Gái cả con số ác tính sinh. Không nói gì cả. Ai rồi con số ác tính person.
Blueprint our class person and hit tab. A new, especially if we've created equals get hash code get happen to name and age. Only this class, only this blueprint can access these items. So that's how we can see name now, but we can't see age because age is still private. It's the same thing as writing private in front of it. And some people
Private extreme. Right? Có nên không có là sys rồi còn muốn xài cái này căng thế căng em năm nay bao nhiêu em tám is càng dễ quá này. Mình sẽ xét Pikachu năm 18 tuổi. I know.
Myself included, will actually put the word private in front of the variable just to make it more clear that you intentionally want this to be private. It's a good way to hammer out bugs in your program. So you go back here, see, still name. So what we want to do is just flip this over to public, go back here, press dot again. You notice how magically there's age. Name and age. So we can say age equals, and we're just going to say, oops, we'll say 36 because, well, I'm 36. And we'll say C person, name, equal, and just, enter your name. Whoops, gotta enter in the quotes. Be a good idea to do that. So now we have our object. We are manipulating a variable in the oops here. Actually put the word private, still name. There's age. So what we want to do is just flip this over to pulls equal. We have our line. Let's put the word years in here. Now we turn a very friendly name, but let's just do a little magic here. Now we've got two instances of our class. We've got cperson and cperson2. Both cperson2, and you'll see that you can make a blueprint, and inside that box of code, get overwhelmed when you say new. It's educational and entertaining, and thank you for. It goes, variable.
Chú là anh. Rồi đó là system. Yep. Ok, xong nhỉ? Tôi sẽ bút xong. Đây đây, đất mình tóc. quá đơn giản với một việc rất là